Hello and welcome back, it's Repulsive Raccoon, aka your favorite trash panda. Today we're going to be playing Asgard's Fall-Viking Survivors. This is a Horde survivor roguelike with Norse mythology and a super in-depth build system. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. And we're going to be playing the first world today. And let's get started. The art style to it is very kind of cartoony almost, but it has its own appeal to it. We got our first level up. We can throw a spear at an enemy, get a damage increase, or some claws, and we're going to just take Spear of the Elder. Oh, that has a pretty big radius to it. And down here are our skills and their cooldowns. So these stones, when you run around the map and stand in them for a second, like that one, you can get some passives. We got the 5% attack speed. And this was the in-depth build system I was talking about. So this is going to be, just think about it as a spider web. They call it the Web of Weird. And what you can do is each one of these, you can slot anywhere in here. You can only pick one, but the reason why this is an in-depth system is because some of these will have additional effects, like there is one that increases the ones around it by 50%. So you want to be smart with your placement. Now some of these don't matter a whole lot, so like bleed chance, if I just put it down here in this bottom corner, we just get the 3%, but it's not going to affect anything, so if we still wanted to increase it, we can put it around. And on the mini map is where you can see more statues. We're going to head to this one, see what it gives us. We got a 1.7 crit strike chance, always nice. And we're already at the top of the map. We're going to farm some enemies real fast to try getting some more level ups. Got summon icicles. Place a lightning gem. We'll go with the lightning gem just to see what it does. And it looks like now we are kind of able to run around in a circle once we place it down and kill everything inside of us. We got chill chance, shock chance, and max health. We'll take the max health. I'll put it next to the bleed. And there at the top is our timer for how long we've survived. We're already at a minute. And so far, these abilities are actually pretty cool. I do really like this chain. There's a golden apple. I'm not sure what that does. Or if we're able to interact with it. It might just be a heal, and that's why we're not able to. We got Magnosphere, Arctic Assault, or Fenrir's Claws. We'll go with the Arctic Assault just because it has a shorter cooldown than the fire one. These enemies already have a little bit more HP. They're no longer one-shottable. And we're also encountering, it looks like, some bees. Our range. We got Ignite Chance, Lightning Damage, and Cold Damage. We'll take just 2% Ignite Chance and put it at the bottom, just so it doesn't mess with any of our synergies. Not that we have any, but for when we do. Gotta make sure we look at where these enemies are attacking. Gun Gear? Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, let me know. We'll take the claws now. It looks like it is a ranged attack, which is interesting. I thought it would definitely be more of a close range attack, and we are facing some boars. They're just charging at us. Not super difficult, just gotta make sure you sideswipe them. Sidestep them, I mean, and not of power. 55 max health, we have dodge chance and health regen. I think I'll take the dodge chance and put it over in the other corner for now. The enemies are getting just even more HP, so hopefully we can scale up our damage here shortly. Let's keep exploring the map, just in case we find something. There's another kind of altar down here, so we'll see what that gives us. Here's a crit damage multiplier. Here's some more altars. 8% or 8 flat damage. We got 4% armor. Blood Veil, 45% damage increase. We are definitely going to be taking that. That just applies to everything. A really massive damage increase. We got really lucky with that. We got a movement speed. Dash amount. We're just going to take that. More dashes is always nice. Now we have 2 instead of the base 1. And I'll just keep running around the map right now just to see if we can find some more altars. Try to avoid taking too much damage. We already got hit a few times. Here's some apples, so let's see if this is the heal. And it sure is. We got 46 HP from that one. We got another Blood Veil. Take that again. It was a reduced effect this time, so instead of getting 45, we just got an additional 30, which is still 30 more damage. 30% more damage. Increase lightning damage, crit damage multiplier, or just flat damage. And be just taking this flat damage. I'm actually going to put it more towards the center where I can put things around it just in case we get things that increase it. Dash through this, get all the XP. We can get another damage increase, or we can get more tethers. I'm going to get more tethers. We just ran into the south side of the map, so we're just going to go east here. Had to do the never eat salty waffles for a second, and it looks like we collected a magnet. Physical damage increase, dodge chance, and health regen. We'll take the health regen and put it up top. Just so we have a passive healing outside of the golden apples. Not entirely sure how long this first world goes to. Arctic Assault damage. We'll get another gem just so for any enemies running through our tethers, we now have 3 of them. Doing a decent amount of crowd control for us. Another health regen, cold damage or armor. We're going to just take another health regen. Kind of interesting because this one's purple. And this one's not, but both of them are +1. But we'll put them just next to each other. Maybe the purple ones just have an easier time upgrading or get influenced heavier by other ones. Not entirely sure. We'll figure that out. So far, I'm really loving the art style. It's kind of a pixel theme. It gives me very old school vibes of games. It's not super flashy. It's just very pleasant to look at, actually. You know, we'll go with another tether. We might as well. It looks like they're putting in a lot of work for us. Especially if we just kind of sit inside our tethers. We got 10% movement speed, lightning damage. We'll take the lightning damage just for more tether damage. And look at all those damage numbers just popping up. These kind of ladybugs almost? I'm not entirely sure. Hammer of Righteousness. Throw icy knives. More hammers of righteousness that spin around their target location. I think I'm going to go with knives just to maybe get some slow on the enemies. I'm not entirely sure if it slows them down, but hopefully it does. We're getting a ton of XP, so we're just going to kind of sit here for a second. We got more dodge chance, physical damage, or another dash. Take the physical damage boost here and put it down at the bottom. We want to leave the middle open just in case we do get anything that increases the ones around it. And we are already past the 5-minute mark. These guys are going to be an issue, these kind of skull head enemies. They shoot homing projectiles that is just kind of chasing me. We got a different ore enemy. So this is a Blood Veil, but it looks like this might be a legendary rarity. I mean, it is giving us a lot of damage increase. It's a 55% damage increase. There's no way we don't take it. Gonna head towards these golden apples just to get a bit of the heal going. These enemies are starting to do a lot of damage to us, so we might want to try to get some armor on our web. And here's that node multiplier. It's a 50%. So this is damage, lightning, ignite, bleed, and max health, or physical damage, dodge, dash. I think I'm going to be putting it right here just for the most effect. Okay, so it doesn't increase everything around it. That definitely would be a bit too OP. So on the actual node, it shows 6 kind of lit up slots, and it is indicating that this is the one that it's going to be increasing. Okay, I mean, thankfully it is lightning damage, but we probably should have put it here for the health regen instead. It also kind of means we don't want to put some of our really good ones at the bottom, just to give this more of a chance of hitting it. I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world no matter where we kind of put them. But now our tethers are doing more damage and we have 4 of them, so... Like I said, it could be a lot worse. We'll explore this kind of middle of the map, try to kill all these homing projectile enemies, because it is kind of annoying to dodge them. We can get a 60% damage increase on tether. I'm not even going to look at the other options. We're just going to take this massive increase of damage on our tether. We can kind of just circle around these enemies, watch out for the dashing enemies. Those guys are always kind of a problem. They come out of nowhere. Especially if you're close by, they'll just kind of hit you. Critical damage, more lightning damage, shock chance. We'll take some shock chance. It's only 2%, but surely that does something with the tethers. This homing projectile follows us for a decent distance. There's a golden apple down here that we're gonna be picking up. We are almost at the 8-minute mark. We have a bag. I'm not entirely sure what it does. So here's our inventory, but I don't have anything in there at the moment, so we're not going to worry about that. Took some damage trying to check it, but that's okay. We'll just eat these apples down here. And we can get 2 more tethers. Get a 30% damage increase to everything, but our tethers are pretty much putting in all the work for us, so might as well just get that. Now we have an insane amount of tethers going on, so when they get put down, we can kind of just dash around the enemies, drag them out so we hit as many as possible. Warrior's Momentum. Triggering your weapon's attack reduces the cooldown of a random ability. That sounds insane, but I think we do need the armor just to take less damage. Don't necessarily know what's coming our way, so we'll take the armor. The other one was probably the right call, but you just never know. Let's collect the magnet. A lot of XP flying at us. We'll just take the 30% damage increase overall. No reason to go 10% on a specific ability when you can just get 30% global. Also like the art style of the crystals. We have another node multiplier. Or another 2 health regen. The only ones we can increase with this would be this 1 health regen, these 2 1 health regens, but I believe that would just go to 1.5, or the armor. I don't actually think that's entirely worth it. We'll just go with another health regen. Now we have 4 base health regen. So if we get hit and can't find an apple, it's not the end of the world. There's a lot of small enemies spawning in. That's okay, that's a ton of XP for us. 30% more damage on tethers. And we are almost at the 10-minute mark. We haven't encountered any mini bosses yet, so not entirely sure if we will or not. A lot of dashing enemies, but it's okay. They'll just dash straight into our tethers. The enemies are getting a decent amount of HP. This is a 100% node multiplier, where the other ones have just been 50. We can get 100 physical, 100% dodge, 100% dash, 100 damage, or another 100% on lightning, giving us another 15%. I think we do that. There we go. Oh, so it's not an extra. It's off of its base amount. So whatever its base amount was. So even though we are influencing it by the extra 50, the extra 100 didn't stack on top of that. It was off the base amount of whatever that lightning was. At the end of the world, it was still a 10% damage to all our lightning, which is our primary source of damage. At least it definitely feels that way. And there's 45% more damage for tether. We just got an achievement. Looks like we might have unlocked a new character. I'm not entirely sure. We'll figure it out by the end of the run. And here's our first mini-boss. Or, not mini-boss, but boss. And it is an angel of some sort. Just dashing around constantly. Try to line up my tethers. Doing a lot of damage. Boss is dashing again. Our multiple dashes are definitely coming in handy here. Gotta dash out of that. All our tethers are lining up on the boss, which is very nice damage. We dodged that attack, which is very nice, because I was definitely inside of it. You can kind of kite that attack by just walking to the side. These dashes come out very fast, so you gotta be careful. You just gotta focus up here. And the boss should be dashing after this one. There we go. Gotta be careful here, we're out of cooldown on our dashes. Boss is definitely ramping up on us, so hopefully we can take it out. The tethers are finally letting us down, unfortunately, on this boss. It's not really a good thing to be having, just because if the boss isn't lined up, while our damage is gone. And we are out of dash cooldowns. And that is it. We died to the first boss. Used abilities. As you can see, our tether did 1.3 million. But it actually wasn't a lot, all things considered, that we had 6 of them. And we had a lot of damage increase for them compared to something like the Spear of Elder, which we had literally no upgrades for, I don't believe. But we got level 3. So let's see what this guy has. Greetings, Viking. Keep your eyes open. These lands are no longer safe. The world beyond is a dangerous place. Doesn't offer us anything. I believe this is the meta progression. We can get maximum health, armor, or just more health from pickups. I'm just going to take the more maximum health both times. And I don't know if there's anything else here, so it looks like there might be... Looks like there's some combos if you get 2 weapons. Then that's locked, and that's locked. Alright, let's go again. Hopefully this time we're able to beat the boss, so we are not going to be just infinitely stacking tethers, although it was fun. I feel like there just are better options. Especially against the boss, I felt like we would have had it, but since the tethers are, you know, stationary, and the boss moves around, we just kind of cooked ourselves there, but that's okay. It is a learning process playing roguelikes. You never know what's actually good or not until you try it out. I can get a ballista or a firewolf. I'm going to go with a ballista. That is a much larger ballista than I was thinking, and it does a lot of AoE damage. I am perfectly okay with that. Killing a burning enemy has a 2% chance to permanently gain 1 fire damage. Don't do any burn right now. Crit damage multiplier could be nice. I'll take it for now. I'm definitely going to need some more crit strike chance, though. Throw Gungreer at a random target. Still don't know if I'm saying that right. Probably not. Unleash a ferocious stomp, damaging enemies around you. Stuns them. I'll take that. A stun on enemies cannot be bad. It's also got a much larger AoE than I was anticipating. We'll take the armor. Take less damage. I'll dash around the map here for a second just to see if we can find any more kind of altars. We did have a lot just kind of off spawn, so I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't really find any more. I don't know how many spawn per map or if it changes per map. But we got 5 at spawn, and I felt like 5 was around the amount we got last time. Fire Aura. That is nice. Now I kind of wish we took the one whenever you killed a burning enemy, there is a chance to increase fire damage, but it's alright. We already have a 100% node multiplier. I'm just going to throw that in the middle there. That way when we get something we want, we can just slot it in there. So hopefully maybe another legendary or an epic. Maybe if we get a dash count, we can throw that one there just so we get 2 more dashes for the boss. Marks an enemy with a rune that explodes after a short time. We'll take that. I feel like it could be good against the boss. This fire ring is just another form of garlic for those that played Vampire Survivors. Good in a lot of the Horde Survivor games is just free chip damage against enemies that get close to us. You gain 100% increased damage, but also take 100% increased damage while standing still. This might be crazy, but I am going to put that there. I don't think it worked though, because it says effect not active. Activate a Knot of Fate by acquiring knots of power until the acquired rune power is reached. So I don't think I got it 100%ed, which is really unfortunate, but that's okay. Gonna need some upgrades before we unlock its full capabilities. Thor's Wrath, call lightning from the sky. That sounds good. Just some free more AoE damage. It is kind of all over the place. Maybe we can get it a bit more tight around us, but for right now, it'll suffice. Another 50% node multiplier. I'll just slot that one up here for now, so I can just kind of throw whatever I want in there. Just because the last one didn't really work out all that much in it. Unfortunately, it was a 100% one. Hopefully I get a pretty good node for physical damage increase. Ability size, that's for our aura, we will definitely take that. Our ring got, it feels a lot more than 10%. I felt like it was just around our character. Taking a lot of damage there, make sure we keep moving. We do take 100% more damage if we are standing still, so that would not be good if we just kind of go AFK. It's taking a lot of damage from these boars, we gotta make sure I'm paying attention. Chain lightning has a 3% chance, or lightning damage has a 3% chance of causing chain lightning. I am almost dead though, so hopefully we can find some golden apples. Just gonna run around for a second. Gotta make sure there's no just random ranged enemies like that that are gonna kill us. But like last run, we saw a lot of golden apples, and now not so much. We'll get a second ballista. Let's pick up this magnet. Hopefully get another level off of it. Healing damage. Healing damage status effects no longer deal damage all the time, but deal all their damage instantaneously. I don't think I'll have it unlocked though. Yeah, I don't have the effect active. There's a golden apple in the distance. Let's take the damage increase this time. We could have gone for a larger size on our fire, which also probably was not a bad choice, but I want overall damage just because these enemies are starting to get tanky and we're having a hard time dealing with them. Increase lightning damage by 29%. That is absolutely absurd. We'll throw that just right there. There's no real method to the madness on my web right now. It's just kind of all over the place. Trying to just figure out how it all works. Here's 2 golden apples. We are gonna be on our way to those. There we go. Got a lot more health than we did a second ago. We could get 45% damage increase on the stomp, which is what I'm going to go for here. A base 19 damage, we are most certainly going to be taking that. I don't know if that applies to the aura. If it does, that is absolutely insane. This is a 60% damage increase. Definitely take that. There's 2 more apples down here that we're going to be grabbing. We're just going to try kiting these enemies as much as possible, get all their XP. Here's a dash amount. We will definitely take that. And we are now doing a considerable amount more damage than we were. Enemies are still fairly tanky, but at least we're able to kind of deal with them now. We are starting to deal with the homing projectile guys, which are very annoying enemies. You make the mistake of getting close to them and you still take a ton of damage. We'll get a 30% increased size on our aura. Gonna go for this apple over here, just so we're nice and topped off on health. There's another apple over there, but we're just gonna let it be. I keep getting these purple ones. This is 6 out of 10. Oh, so when I put... So these have the little symbols below them. 6, so I have to kind of feed these abilities in order to get them active. So I need 4 more to get this one active. Okay, so I don't want to put these purple ones kind of congested like that. I need to spread them out. I'll re-roll this. Health regen +2, I'll gladly take that. You finally got some passive healing. It's not much, but it is something. And I do collect a decent amount of these souls, almost gems, that I can use for re-rolling. So if I do get something I don't like, I could just keep re-rolling it into better upgrades. I shouldn't be afraid if you get like all commons, for example, just re-roll it until you get a legendary or an epic. I'll see if the same thing applies for skills. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it does. That I just haven't been paying attention. There's a +7 ignite chance. We will put that here. And we now have this effect active, which is very huge. So we now deal 100% more damage while moving, but 100% more while standing still. So we just gotta never take our hand off the keyboard at this point. The homing projectile guys still deal a lot of damage to us. Ability size, cooldown. We'll just take a larger radius on our aura. We're at the 7-minute mark, so at 10 minutes is when we fight the boss. Health regen plus 3, that is absolutely massive. Now have 5 health regen. Taking some damage, so I'm gonna go for the golden apple down here. Just to kind of kickstart that health regen. Help it out a little bit. We have a magnet down here that I'm gonna pick up. We can get more pierce on the ballista, or just a 30% overall damage. I think we're just going to go with that. I didn't look to see if I could re-roll abilities, so I got to do that. Should be not going to here. Let's re-roll a few times. Attack speed 20% and a 150 node multiplier that we can put on just our flat damage. But I think 20% attack speed, because this also applies to... This is absurd. We are definitely taking that attack speed. 20% is just way too much to say no to. The ignite chance would have been really nice to set more enemies on fire. Oh, like I said, 20% is that's just insane. %30 more damage from Blood Veil. We're kind of just going to farm up a bunch of enemies here, try to get some more levels. We're about to get another one. More attack speed, crit damage. I think we just go more attack speed at this point, and then we also have the Chain Lightning unlocked. And we are level 31 right now. Taking a little bit of damage, want to move away from these homing projectile users. Not entirely sure what these kind of like floating bugs do. Probably out to kill us though, so we'll just kill them first. Okay, so you can re-roll the actual skills themselves if you don't like it. There's a legendary stomp. We'll take that. Gives us a lot more cooldown, took off an entire second and some on the ability. Gotta watch out for these homing projectiles. Just doing a bit too much damage. Grab this apple. The boss is about to spawn in. We only have a few seconds left. We can go for Ignite Chance or Shock Chance. The probability of shocking target, so when they're shocked, they take 25% more damage. I think we're just going to go for the armor here, though, just because the boss is about to spawn in. And we now know how this boss works. I say that as I immediately get hit. Trying to stay close to those attacks and just get ready to dodge the boss dashing. Large AoE we were able to dodge. So when the boss is not dashing, you kind of just want to stay close, that way you're able to kite those attacks. We're doing a good job of that here. I say that as I immediately get hit. Perfect timing. Got hit by the dodge. That's not the end of the world. Got hit by another one. Just gotta focus up here. Boss is almost half HP. Hopefully we can spawn some ballistas in right here. There we go. That way they can get some nice damage on this boss. Did a really good job at not getting hit by any of those dashes there. Gotta get close to the boss for this one. Boss is below 50% HP, so as long as we lock in and stay focused, we will be okay. I just gotta not make too many mistakes here. Let our HP regen kind of do the work in between the different bosses' attacks. Boss should start dashing. There we go. I got hit by it. That's okay. I'm out of range of that one. And large AoE, we gotta make sure we get out of that. Gonna go for this magnet, not that it does anything for us. Might give us a level up, which could come in handy. Also gonna be dashing. So it looks like if you take too long to deal with the boss, you end up starting to fight a lot of enemies on top of there. So hopefully we're able to deal with the boss, but not We might not be able to at this rate. I'll take more ballistas at this point. Hopefully they can just kind of do some chip damage on the boss while we run away. Hopefully able to conserve our dashes here. Large AoE coming. Just kind of trying to kite the boss away. Let the boss kind of walk towards us. Let all our ranged attacks do all the work. And the boss is almost dead. We are also very low, but there we go. We managed to kill the first boss, and it looks like that was maybe just a mini boss. Because we are still going. So hopefully we can get some damage increases in here. Frontline, chill chance, we'll reroll all of this. Movement speed, lightning damage, chill chance, we'll reroll again. Another flat damage increase. We're definitely going to need that at this point. These enemies are starting to get really tanky compared to us. I'm not entirely sure what enemy is doing this, like, kind of magic circle attack around us, but there's a lot of them, so I just have to be mindful of that. There's also another dashing enemy. He has a shield this time. I will take more ballistas. We now have 8 ballistas. Hopefully they can put in a lot of nice chip damage for us. They have piercing as well. I'm going to go for this golden apple here at the top. So it looks like that was a mini-boss, and as the timer kind of just keeps progressing, the next wave of enemies starts. So if you can kill the mini-boss in time, I don't think you have to worry about the enemies, unless it's an HP threshold, which could also be the case. But I would not be surprised if it is a time thing. Let's grab these apples. That one despawned literally the moment we grabbed it. That's unfortunate. Critical damage. This is a 100% node. This is a 20% increased physical attack damage, which applies to so much of our stuff, and it would turn the instant retribution on, which would... it's 2 out of 3. I thought it was 3. That is my bad. But once we get that, all our burns will just deal damage instantaneously instead of picking, which should be a nice bit more damage. Hopefully we can get that going soon. Facing a lot of enemies just flying at us right now. We're able to take them out though, so it should just be a nice amount of XP. Cooldown on Fiery Rune by over 2 seconds. Let's just get more Pierce amount on the ballistas. Surely that should be good. At least I'm hoping it is. I'm kind of going all in on the ballistas. Didn't really learn my lesson from the tether. Surely all these turrets are going to be putting in a lot of work for us. A lot of dashing enemies here. I feel like the ballistas are just super nice chip damage against the back enemies when I can't necessarily get to them. I believe it's these floating green things that are kind of doing this circle magic to us. I'll re-roll this. 3 dash amount is insane. I feel like I cannot give that up at any cost. Even though we were offered more attack speed, just 3 more dashes is just insane to work with. Helps us dodge way more. All legendaries is It's crazy. We can get more cooldown on our stomp, or we can get more fiery runes. I'm going to go with more fiery runes here. We get another 3 or 4, which is going to lead to a lot more damage overall. I say that, and I'm taking a lot more damage as well. I'm going to use some of my dashes here to get towards these golden apples, just to get them before they run out. A 150 node multiplier, 8% ignite chance. I'm going to put that down here. And we now have 50% attack speed from this one node. That is insane. We now have, I believe, 70% attack speed, which is absolutely crazy. All our abilities are way faster. I attack faster. Another all legendaries. 4 more ballistas. Yeah, okay, so we get 12 ballistas. This is looking to be an insane run already. I wouldn't be surprised that 20 minutes is where we fight another sort of mini-boss. Being able to clean up these enemies pretty easily. When our ballistas are kind of surrounding them, they just pierces through everything. It's very nice. Crit damage by 41. 8% bleed chance. Which could go good with the instant retribution. I'm going to take the bleed, just because it deals all its damage instantaneously. And hopefully we are going to start dealing a lot more damage just because of all the ignites we're doing. They just blow up instantly. It feels like it's working. Looks like the enemies are dying just a little bit faster. This is a 60% damage on Thor's Wrath, but this is just 60% damage increase on everything. I feel like the global is just absolutely insane when it gives us a legendary. You just take it every time, I feel like. Like, the individual abilities are nice and all, but that's 60% damage. We're now at the 18-minute mark. Level 44. But yeah, as you can see, we get so many of these, it's not a bad idea to kind of just re-roll until you get like a really good epic or legendary that you want. That's more damage. That's another 150. Only one I could use it on, though, is getting more health regen. This is bleeding enemies, but they're no longer bleeding because they take damage. This is 18 flat damage. I'll put that over there, just that way if we get a node multiplier, we have an okay chance of increasing it. Yeah, the enemies are dying much faster now with that flat 19 damage increase. Gotta make sure I don't get stuck on anything. That would not be a good way to end the run. Did a pretty good job of getting here. Now I said global increase, but we could also... I didn't mean to actually click it. I was going to joke around and say we could get another 4 ballistas, but it is 60% global, but... You know what? 16 ballistas doesn't sound like a bad idea. So, that is what we now have. And they are just absolutely shooting everywhere. We're basically placing down a ballista every second, if not faster. Just have them constantly on the field. Lightning damage, ignite, and dash amount. I'll re-roll. So it looks like we are only getting legendaries here. I'll go for some attack speed. I'll put it up here, just so if we get that node multiplier, it has multiple things it could potentially hit in that bracket, or piece of the web, I should say. And I believe we have over 100% attack speed now. Which, as you can see, is making our ballistas just go absolutely crazy. And the final boss, what is this? Is this the world-eating serpent? I'm not entirely sure, but let's just focus up. So it has some kind of... So it has a projectile that it shoots out as well. Leaves some area on the ground. The good thing, our ballistas are here just doing insane free chip damage to this boss. Want to make sure I'm dodging everything here. He's using some tail attacks on us. This boss is absolutely wicked looking. I like how the arena is the body itself. It's kind of coiling around us. They trap us in. But it is no match for us spawning in 16 ballistas. Not entirely sure what either of these runes are, but it looks like we can just pick them all up. And there we go. World 1 has been officially conquered. The Ferocious Stomp still doing way more damage than our ballista, which is crazy considering we had so many of them. So the Stomp is a really good ability. Blood Veil, I believe, I thought was a global buff. I'm not entirely sure what it means by damage, unless this is the damage kind of added that it was doing. But there are our stats. We got some pigments, some DPS, and that is going to do it for today's video. This is Asgard's Fall, Viking Survivors. It is an amazing Horde Survivor roguelike with a lot of in-depth customizability. And yeah, try it for yourself. And until next time, take care.